Welcome back to Sneaker Huddle. In today's video, we're talking about the upcoming release of the Air Jordan 6 Toro Bravo. Now, you know I'm always excited to talk about upcoming sneaker releases, but this one has me feeling some type of way. And no, it's not because the colorway is fire. It's because I can't help but to think about the infamous Toro Bravo incident that happened at the running of the Bulls. Let's just say good thing we're not dealing with real bulls. One interesting fact about the Air Jordan 6 is that it was designed by Tinker Hatfield, who is considered one of the most influential sneaker designers of all time. Hatfield also designed other iconic sneakers in the Air Jordan line, such as the Air Jordan 3, 4, 5, and 11. Now let's get into the design of the Air Jordan 6 Toro Bravo. The first thing you'll notice is the vibrant red suede upper, which is a nod to the Toro Bravo nickname. Now, what really catches my eye with this sneaker is the icy, semi-translucent blue outsole. And also within those hits of icy blue is a solid black rubber. And of course, the famous red Jumpman right in the center. In terms of technology, the Air Jordan 6 also introduced Nike's patented air cushioning system, which provided superior comfort and shock absorption for athletes back in the 90s. The air unit is also visible in the heel, which is that famous Tinker Hatfield design, and inside the polyurethane midsole is an encapsulated air unit for cushioning. And as most people know that aren't too familiar with sneakers, that's just a classic Nike design. We see that in the Air Max 90, the Air Max 1, and then we actually got the first visible air unit on the Air Jordan 3, the Air Jordan 4, the Air Jordan 5, and the Air Jordan 6. Now let's talk about the history behind the Air Jordan 6. This iconic sneaker was first released in 1991. And it was the shoe that Michael Jordan wore during his very first NBA championship. And let's be real, MJ wouldn't have been able to do it if it wasn't for the Air Jordan 6. Have you seen these lace locks? They're like the ultimate lockdown mechanism. Got so excited they came unlaced. That's better. In addition to the upcoming Toro Bravo colorway, there have been many other noticeable Air Jordan 6 releases over the years, including the infrared colorway, which is considered one of the most popular Air Jordan sneakers of all time. Now, let us know in the comment, where does the design inspiration come from the Air Jordan 6? What did Tinker Hatfield design the Air Jordan 6 in mind and after when it comes to things that we see in our everyday lives? I wonder how many people know this. I'm gonna give you guys a few seconds to put it in the comments to see if you may or may not know the answer to this. And it's pretty interesting, and I think that you'll be able to see it if you don't already. I don't want to give away too much of a hint, but it looks pretty similar when we do reveal the answer in just a few seconds. The Air Jordan 6 drew inspiration from Michael Jordan's love for sports cars, specifically the Porsche 911, which is reflected in the design of the heel tab and spoiler-like pull tab. The automotive influence is also seen in the groove design on the outsole, which was inspired by the tire treads of a sports car. But that's actually what the Air Jordan 6 was designed after, was Michael Jordan's Porsche 911. Just like how Tinker Hatfield drew inspiration for the Air Jordan 5 when we have the shark teeth, he got those from fighter jets. And he also, you know, with the Air Max 1, it was designed after the Pompidou building where the guts of the building were on the outside, and that's how he got the design for the Air Max 1 to expose the air unit to make the technology visible from what you see in everyday life. You can see the technology work on a day basis, which has come to be an iconic design and a design that we're just so used to seeing in our everyday lives. Now, for a quick little comparison, and also for you guys that have been asking where I've been picking up my sneakers, I picked this up from Courtside NC. As you can see, the Courtside verified tag. It's in Crabtree Valley Mall in Raleigh, North Carolina. They also have an online store, but I've been picking up some sneakers there recently. It's been my go-to spot. So I'm gonna compare these to the Carmines, which are pretty different, and we'll get into it. But a lot of people that likely, if you're a big fan of the Sixes or Jordan Retros, you have the Carmine because it was a big deal when it came back, mainly because it came with Nike Air on the heel. And previously, the last time that it released, it did not. And the reason why they brought it back with Nike Air on the heel and we don't get Nike Air on the heel on the Toro Bravo is because this was an original. This was one that Michael actually wore on the court in 1992 or 1991. I forget exactly. But to compare the materials, the Carmines, that's a very low cut red suede that we get on the toe and also on the medial around the sneaker. And then you do get the white leather overlays. And then on the Toro Bravo, it is a muted down red. Really, really love it. We get the embroidered Nike, I was about to say Nike Air, the Jumpman Air on the heel of the sneaker. And I would say that this suede that we get is very similar to the purple suede that we got on the Air Jordan 4 Women's Canyon Purple. I don't think it's as high, but off the top of my head, that's kind of the first thing that comes to mind in terms of the material, but of course it isn't red. The Air Jordan 6 was also designed with performance in mind, incorporating innovative features to enhance both comfort and support for basketball players. In addition to the reinforced toe cap I mentioned earlier, the shoe also features a molded heel tab and padded collar for added support and comfort. Overall, the Air Jordan 6 was a groundbreaking sneaker back in the 90s that pushed style and also comfort. But did you know the Air Jordan 6 was also featured in the movie White Men Can't Jump? And let's talk about a few other fun facts. The Air Jordan 6 was the first sneaker in the Air Jordan line to have a hidden lacing system. The system is designed to keep the laces tucked away and prevent them from getting tangled or caught during play. And that is, of course, this thing that we see here. And to make it a little easier to lace up, you can actually unbutton it. But if you've ever had a pair of Air Jordan 6s, you know, this kind of unbuttons and it makes it a little easier to lace up. But they are one of the most difficult shoe that I've ever had to try to lace or unlace due to that technology or update, whatever you want to call it. That we have right there. And of course, on top of it, we do get the Jumpman embroidered, which I really, really love the way that looks. So I would rather it be there than not. Another fun fact, the Air Jordan 6 was also the first sneaker in the Air Jordan line to feature a rubber tongue with 2 holes. The holes were designed to make it easier to put the shoe on and take it off. And yes, these 2 holes that we have here, it was designed to put your 2 fingers in there and simply pull the tongue up or, you know, pull it out. So that's what it was designed, that was what was in mind with the design of the tongue. All right, now let's get down to business. The Air Jordan 6 Toro Bravo is set to release in June. That means it's time to start stargazing on where to cop these bad boys. My advice, be sure to hit the link down below in the video description. And if you want release reminders, if there is perhaps a shock drop, if there's restocks of these, be sure to follow us on Twitter and enable post notifications every single time that there's not just this Jordan, but all Jordans. We're always gonna give you shock drop information, restock information, release reminders. Overall, the Air Jordan 6 is a highly coveted sneaker among sneaker heads and basketball players alike, and its impact on sneaker culture and sports cannot be overstated. So mark your calendars for June 24th to be exact, and get ready to add the Toro Bravo colorway to your collection. And that's a wrap, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to our review of the Air Jordan 6 Toro Bravo. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. And remember, even if you don't cop these sneakers, you're still a sneakerhead at heart. Keep on collecting and keep on flexing, and most importantly, keep on being you. Until next time, peace out.